the mighty empire of men that struggles daily in a never-ending war against what would appear to be the rest of the old world. The charismatic Emperor Karl Franz governs the fading existence of mankind in defiance of chaos, fighting on with an iron will and a beaming light that exemplifies him as the strength of the human spirit and Sigmar himself. The Empire play a very militant and tactically pre-arranged game. Every unit has a role, and it is up to the general of an Empire army to ensure that they have a solid game plan with the right units to effectively carry this strategy out. The men of the Empire are most iconically brought to the table in the form of a devastating gunline that leaves little else but a smear on the table. Let's take a quick look at some of the advantages that the Empire army has to offer. Empire has access to all of the colleges of magic, which most armies don't, except through the 100-point hat. This gives Empire players a broad variety of choices in terms of what they want magic to do for them. Offensive buffs, defensive buffs, direct damage, debuff enemies, obliterate a specific type of enemy list that your own list has trouble with. Regardless of your needs, there's a college of magic for you. The Empire have a strong character type in the form of priests. These holy men are capable of shutting down all but the strongest magic phases. On top of this, they are brilliant leaders for the none too intimidating state troops, providing higher leadership, hatred, and an extra bit of smackdown. Their ability to pray as well makes them a very strong choice. The Empire pack a bunch of artillery in the form of cannons, mortars, gunmen, hellblasters, and of course, the steam cannon. The Empire gunline is famed and feared for good reason. The Empire's unique detachment mechanic is absolute gold. In an addition that makes it harder to deny an enemy his rank bonus, detachments still do a great job. You realistically need a detachment of about 15, but in addition to the ability to flank charge an enemy from inside his forward arc, both in support of a frontal charge by the parent unit and in defense of a parent unit receiving a charge, they also provide protection to the parent in the sense that they're physically blocking a flank charge against the parent. The Empire fast cavalry are among the greatest in the game. Pistoliers get to move 16 inches and still shoot 12 inches for an effective range of 28 inches on a black powder weapon. Throw that on top of the Vanguard move and you can engage their targets up to 40 inches away from your deployment zone on turn 1. Outriders almost have it even better. They don't get to move and shoot, but take a unit of 10 and you're looking at 30 black powder shots that will rip a hole through just about anything. And they get the Vanguard move, so you can get them forward on a flank before the game even starts. So let's take a look at some of the disadvantages of the Empire army. Unfortunately, the average human stat line is very basic and often inferior to most opponents. Pretty much everything has a higher weapon skill, initiative, strength, toughness, and movement. The few exceptions are much cheaper or have special rules that would offset such a stat line deficiency. To offset the wide array of potential options for magic types, magic can no longer reliably win the game, since power dice are capped at 12, regardless of how many casters and spells you take. Nonetheless, magic can provide a strong support to a list, and Empire has the potential to bring a strong magic phase. State troops form the bulk of your army, only have a light armor, and some varieties get a shield for a whopping 5+ armor save. Suffice it to say that state troops lack a solid defense other than numbers. Now we come to the aesthetics of the Empire army. The state troops of the Empire have a very unified appearance, with matching uniforms under a fluttering banner of matching colours. To offset this, the Free Company units and flagellants appear to be disorganised and ragtag. Essentially, this makes for a great options for potential modelers, a ragtag posse or a unified force. There are many individual models that are quite appealing to all modelers, being the fearsome steam tank, the stalwart priests, the wizards from all the colleges of magic, any of the many named characters to even the large and imposing griffin riding characters. The Empire holds quite a traditional appearance when one thinks of wargaming. All in all, an Empire army will, despite uniforms etc., will often look quite unique due to the accents that are the characters and free companies. Alright guys, hopefully this information will assist you in choosing your next Warhammer Fantasy Army. See you in the next vid.